What's going on, YouTube? This is Stacy with Sandtrans LLC, where we are driving for financial freedom. Well, let me pause that because right now we ain't driving anything because, like I said in my last video, Big Bertha is down, transmission went out. However, I did get a call, so it should be back up today. And I'm checking in today to talk about business credit, how you can acquire it through your trucking business, how I acquired it for our trucking business, and basically how that credit is going to pay for that transmission replacement for Big Bertha, which is $6,500. And by having that credit in place, it does not affect my personal credit history. So it's not going to affect my personal score. It's going to be strictly on the business itself, which is its own entity. That's our shirt right there. We got the merch, Sandtrans LLC, driving for financial freedom. So holla at me. But yeah, it's basically going to stand on the business. You know, the business is its own entity, its own blood flow, its own life. So I'm just going to kind of give you guys an idea on how I got it. You know, I'm not an accountant. Not licensed or anything. I'm just me. So I'm gonna give you guys the tips on how I got it. You know, the pitfalls I ran into, the things I used to get it. So first thing is you got to take your time and build it right. And you know, I got my other business that I've had for over 20 years that I never ever built any business credit. I always rolled on my own too. And when I went to go apply for business credit for that particular business, I was denied and couldn't figure out why, but it's because I didn't set it up properly. And it's a system. Let me just tell you that it's a system. Everything has to be structured in a certain way. It has to, all your I's will have to be dotted. All your T's got to be crossed. And if once everything's right in the system, you check all the boxes, you'll be able to get you some credit. So first thing, you need to have decent personal credit. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You know, bad credit, that ain't gonna fly. Well, you can do it, but it's gonna be a lot tougher. So you want to at least have your credit score anywhere from 650 and up. 650. It'll run all the way up to 850, but 700, you golden. 700, 725, you know, you're pretty much golden, you know. Sometimes, even with certain cards, you're going to have to personal guarantee, meaning you're going to have to write your name, or they're going to run your social, right? Because I have a card right now where they actually made me the personal guarantor, PG, personal guarantor, but it does not show up on my personal credit at all. So it's strictly on the business. I think that card's around $20,000. But my credit score is, you know, it was as low as a 650, and now it's, you know, in the mid 800s. But I found, and I'm gonna explain to you guys what you got to do to get it there. But like I said, there's certain things, there's certain protocol. So the first thing is you want to have your personal credit, you know, at least anywhere from a 650 to an 850. Once you get that set up for your business, like, you know, we're talking about trucking. It normally takes, you know, roughly for at least about 90 days for you to get established, you know. So the first thing, when you set up your business structure, okay, you need a actual business address. Okay, and this business address could be a virtual address. But it doesn't need to be your home address, because what happens is they will do the research when you're looking, when you're applying for a card. Those guys are smart, so they're going to pull the address up on Google, and if it shows this is his house, chances are you're going to get denied. So you want to get you a virtual address. I use a company called DaVinci. There is DaVinci. There is Regis. There's a couple other out there. I use DaVinci because it's $50 a month. They had a lot of offices here in Atlanta, and they'll take my mail there, and so that's number one. Definitely want to get you an actual business address. Then you got to have an actual phone number. Can't be your cell phone. So what I did is I used the company. I've used Ring Central before. I have it for my other business, which is they're a great company. But for this particular one, I use eVoice. The eVoice number cost me $10 a month, and I'm just gonna only speak on about Sandtrans, but I got an 800 number, 877 number. So it's all the persona makes the company look we're all professionals, but it just gives us that persona. So we have our business address in Atlanta with our own suite number. We have our 800 number. So when you call in, you will have the professional voicemail. And basically when they call in, it just forwards over to my cell phone, and I know whenever that number pops in, it's already programmed on my phone. So I know it's a call coming in from Sandtrans, and you answer it accordingly. That number also has to be registered with 411. So they got services out there that will list it with 411. So when they actually do the search, it does pop up. But those are the things, you got to do in order to acquire this business credit. You want to make sure you have your DUNS number. So you want to call Dun and Bradstreet. Make sure your number is registered. Just so you know, a DUNS number is free. So they have programs out there. I think they're around $1,000, but it's pretty much up to you if you want to invest in that, or you can take the time and do your own research and figure it out yourself. Watch videos like this, and we'll give you all the game. But you want to make sure your DUNS number is active. That's so you get your DUNS number, get that set up. Of course, your business entity has to be set up properly on with the Secretary of State. So listen, when you set your business up, okay, and you got your address, make sure that everything lines up. So make sure that your business address is the same address that's registered with the Secretary of State, which is also registered with the IRS, okay, which is also registered on Google. So go ahead and do your Google Maps and make sure everything is the same. If you are Suite 200, Box 32, that's how it should be set up. Exactly the same. Make sure everything's in order. So when they go through and check the boxes, everything works out. After that, what I did is I went and got me a credit monitoring service, so I can actually see how Sandtrans is doing as far as credit goes. Remember, this was a business that didn't have. We just started this a year ago, so it didn't have any credit at all. So you want to have a credit monitoring service. There's a lot of those out there. I think Dun & Bradstreet has one also, but I use a company called NAV, which is NAV. They'll monitor up to 5 businesses for you. So I'm monitoring all my businesses, and it's around $39 a month. And you can monitor your Experian, you can monitor your Dun & Bradstreet, you can monitor your Paydex score. And all these scores are important. And if you pay the $39 a month, not only are they going to monitor 5 businesses for you, but you can actually call NAV and ask them, can I do a business checkup? I want to see, how my business is doing. And they'll let you know. And so if you have any derogatories on there or any paid late or anything like that, that's not working for your business, then you go and you clear those up. And one thing about business credit versus personal credit is whenever you're late on your business, right, it doesn't affect you the same way it does on your personal. You're late on your personal, it's a negative mark. It stays on there. It drags you out. On the business side, once you pay it, it shoots the score right back up. So if you go to NAV and you look at all of your scores and they're up to par, then NAV, that company, they're going to tell you, like credit cards, they have a list of credit cards and it may say you're 97% sure you're going to get this card, 97% sure. If all of your information lines up on the front end, then you're 97%. So it's a system, guys, and it works. And we just did one with Bank of America on NAV where it showed that we were 97% sure that we would get the card. We filled it out, checked all the boxes, and they sent us a card back for 30 grand. Just like that. So $30,000 in the trucking business can go a long way. It could float you, from your breakdown. It can float you on the fuel. If the freight gets slow, it'll float you there. You got time to pay it back, and then and then when you pay it back, you're in good standing. So now you could later on go back to them and say, hey, look, I've been paying you properly. Let me use this tool again and ask for an increase, because that's all it is, guys. Money, credit, it's a tool. A lot of people love to hoard money. It's not designed for that. You got to use these tools, and credit is another tool that we could use in order to advance our business, advance our legacy, and become financially free. And it's been out here for years. I'm guilty because I didn't take advantage of the credit side. But I'm trying to make up for lost time right now. So now you got your business credit established. You also, other ways you could establish credit. If you have bad credit at this time, Wells Fargo has a program that will allow you to do secured lines of business. So in the trucking industry, you guys make these 7-figure salaries, driving trucks. You can take some of that money and put it to work by investing in your business through secured credit lines. And the whole goal behind that is to eventually come off the secured credit line to the unsecured credit line. So with Wells Fargo, I can only speak for ourselves. We invested X amount of dollars over there just to have a secured credit line, just to build a relationship with them, just to build business credit, and we did that maybe 2 months ago. And now it's paying dividends because now these other banks are now giving us unsecured credit lines, which we would then, if we wanted to, we could, take our cash out of Wells Fargo, but we're just gonna leave it there and we're gonna let it work. That's what it's designed to do. Work. Money's designed to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, never takes a vacation, never gets tired, never complains. And that's what we're going to do with it. And now we're going to do the same thing with this credit. Another good bank besides Wells Fargo is Navy Federal. Navy Federal, they got a lot of good programs out there, free checking, and they got free savings. You do have to have someone in your family or someone to sponsor you in order to get in, but you want to get in there. And just another tip, anything, I think it's $10,000 in your account gives you like a B rating score with the bank, which is a good score. So 90 days, $10,000 in the account. Okay, you're a loyal customer to them, loyal customer to them. So you want to reach back out to them and ask them credit cards, lines of credit, things like that to run your trucking business. And so those are my tips for today. Probably one of the longest videos that I've done, but it's kind of worked for me, kind of helped us out. So, but now that Big Bertha is going to be back up and running, it's time to get back to this money. We've been sitting down for about a week and a half, and when the truck stops, the money stops. When the merry-go-round, when the music stops, the merry-go-round stops spinning. So hopefully today we'll be back up and running, and I will be using Bank of America to take care of that training for me. It takes the pressure off of us, gives us time to generate the capital to pay Bank of America back, pay them off, and then go right back to them, in about 6 months and say, hey, we paid you for this transmission. Why don't you give me another 10 grand? So looking forward to that. Again, this is Stacy with Sandtrans LLC. Like the channel, subscribe to the channel. We're right on the cusp of 800 subscribers in 12 months, which is good. We haven't been posting a whole lot of video, but roughly about one a month. But like it, share it, subscribe to it. Check us out on Instagram, Sandtrans HOTSHOT. That's where we're at. And if you want a shirt, it's on the back too. I don't know if you guys can see it. We got it on the back, driving for financial freedom. So if you like one of those, give me a shout out. That's it. I'm gone.